Hello everyone, the day has finally arrived. It is the 8th of November, which means it is the first day that the US borders will finally reopen for non-essential travel. I'm excited to be travelling from Manchester Airport to Orlando International Airport very shortly. However, it's not going to be a direct flight. I am unfortunately going to have to stop at JFK on the way, which I think takes it to about 14 hours in total. So I'll very briefly run through the trip that I've got planned. So I'm going to be staying at, I think it's going to be about 7 different hotels in total. So that's going to involve the Endless Summer Dockside Inn. That's going to be the first hotel that I stay at. And I'll also be touring around the Surfside Inn and Suites as well. Then I'll be traveling over to Cabana Bay. And from that point on, it's going to be focusing on the restaurants and value hotels on International Drive. So I think we're going to start there with Rosen Inn at Point Orlando. Then we're going to head over to Coco Key. Then I think it's going to be Homewood Suites by the Convention Centre. I'm going to also try and fit in the Rosen Inn nearest Universal. I think we're going to end up finally at the Doubletree at SeaWorld Orlando. So I will of course be visiting some of the theme parks whilst in Orlando. So I'm going to head to both of the Universal Orlando theme parks, those being Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. I'll also be doing the water park, which is Volcano Bay. And then after that I'll be doing SeaWorld Orlando. And lastly, if I've got time, I'll be doing Aquatica. So should be a bit of an adventure, especially given that it's the first day back, so expecting the unexpected in that sense. Do subscribe if you're going to be interested in any of those parks or hotels, so you don't miss out on future videos when they're posted. The main reason for this trip is to update the footage on my other YouTube channel, which is the Frugal Brit Orlando. So it's not really a holiday in that sense, it's more a trip to sort of gain content. So the wife and kids won't be joining me for this particular trip, but hopefully, fingers crossed, COVID sorts itself out and we'll be going August next year. I'm in the wrong car park. Fortunately, no one behind me. West, not east. So here we are. We've arrived at Manchester Airport. This is what you'll see when you arrive from the T2 multi-storey west car park. I shouldn't have come up this way with my luggage. So this is Manchester Airport's newly transformed Terminal 2 check-in area. Very modern and spacious. So just going to check in now. If anyone's interested in the sort of steps you need to take to enter the US as of 8th of November, I'll leave like a sort of breakdown in the video description. But do keep in mind that it might, depending on when you're watching this video, it might have changed, so you do need to be really careful there and sort of check for updates. I've gone for a antigen test supervised with Randox. Just in case you don't know, antigen is the same as lateral flow. It means the same thing basically. So I've gone for one of those tests. Fingers crossed that works out. I'm not really expecting any dramas. I do suspect that the airlines are not going to be as strict as many of us have feared when it comes to type of tests, the different providers, but the official line has been basically it needs to be an FDA approved provider and it needs to be supervised. Now, the FDA approved part of it, I don't think they're going to be as strict about, because I know Boots have had some issues. I think or was it Lloyd's? Sorry, not Boots. Lloyd's came out and said they're not FDA approved. I suspect that won't be a problem. So if you have booked with Lloyd's, I suspect it won't be a problem, but I just don't know. But yeah, I'll know whether there's been any issue with my test provider. Couple of Virgin Atlantic aircraft there, hopefully ready for the big day. I'm now approaching the departure lounge. On the right we have Costa, and over on the left we have my least favourite shop in the country. Always feels like they're sort of forced on you, WH Smith, at like a train station or an airport. Let's see how much the cost of a bottle of water is. £2.29. Honestly. Where is it? Highly recommend this autobiography from one of the best comedians in the UK. He also has very good taste in YouTube channels. Just heading into the duty-free section. Good if you want to get a little cheeky pre-flight spray. Could do with a pair of shorts actually. Oh, we've got another. We've got Archie's, burgers, shakes and waffles. That's probably what I'm going to go for after I've checked out the other places. We've got Pot Kettle Black, which is a cafe chain from Manchester. The Apiary, which is some sort of luxury bar restaurant. Now we've arrived at the main focal point of the departure lounge with the escalators and a cool looking honeycomb light feature on the ceiling. At the top of the escalators we have the San Carlo restaurant, which I'm assuming is an Italian restaurant. The Bridgewater Exchange, which I'm led to believe is the first ever airport microbrewery. So to the right of the what's it called again? The Bridgewater Exchange, you have the entrance walkway to the lounges for guests that have paid for the upgrade, which I'm always too tight to do. To your left at the top of the escalators there's a Waggers, and then further down you've got the Amber Ale House. Terminal 2 is a beer drinker's paradise. So I think that's all the main bits covered for Terminal 2. I have to say, pretty impressed. Right, I am cutting it a bit fine now. Oh, that's where I'm headed. Archie's. Very stylish looking fast food restaurant. I went for the Royal Burger with chips and a Diet Coke. Above par, no complaints there, coming in at £11.69. Let's check on where we're at. So, obviously my flight is to New York, 1:10, and I've got to go to gate 206. she is. No delays announced as of yet. We have arrived at my economy seat, just watching a man dig a hole. Paid to reserve a window seat so I can get some good footage.
So, what we thought we'd do is show you the video all about what you guys have to do if it all goes wrong and we have an emergency.
Flight attendant got jokes. Right, I think it's almost time. The Thai vegetable curry, and I think I've made a big mistake. I'll give you a brief overview of the Vera in-flight entertainment system. So as you can see from the top, you can choose from a number of movies, TV shows, music and games. So you just sort of scroll through, but they are in alphabetical order, so you'll probably need to scroll a bit to find a decent movie. Ooh, I have wanted to watch this for quite a while, to be fair. It might have to be this documentary about the greatest footballer in the world. You can also plug in some devices via USB, although I haven't had any experience with that myself. You can use the USB port to charge stuff like your phone, but be careful not to plug anything like a laptop, something that's going to use a lot of power, because it will just shut down the USB port. They've also got some destination guides. I'm assuming they'll have one for Orlando. The best feature without a doubt is the sky map. It gives you like a live view of where your aircraft is, and you can sort of zoom in, sort of pan round, etc. Got a lot of other options and views if you want to get really deep into it. I think I might try and get some sleep. Afternoon tea. So we got a scone and some clotted cream. Then we got a little sandwich.
Very good afternoon to you all. 600 days with an enormous sense of pleasure. I can finally say welcome to John F. Kennedy's Airport here in New York.
Cheers guys, thank you. So this is JFK Airport, obviously. Just need to get immigration sorted. Here's to hoping that they're fully prepared for international guests. The queue is pretty long, but it is moving quite quickly, so it shouldn't be too bad.
One eternity later.
that was unpleasant. And the kicker is that I've now got to take my bag through security again because it's a different flight. At least my bag's here. So that's security sorted, so now it's just a case of getting something to eat and boarding the second flight. Yeah, I'm not waiting in that. I think it's going to have to be flaming hot Cheetos and a granola bar. Just boarding the Delta Airlines flight to Manchester Airport. Final stretch. So we finally arrived at Orlando International Airport after 14 hours of travel. It's been a long day, but I can't really complain in terms of there's been no delays or anything. Yes, the queue at immigration at JFK was grim, but yeah, I'd take that over, flight delays, etc. So it's always stressful with connecting flights. It's always the worry that you're not going to get there in time, but yeah, relieved on that front. So because I've flown in with Delta Airlines, I'm in Terminal B, which is also where British Airways will fly into. But if I had flown directly from Manchester to Orlando, then I would be in Terminal A. So regardless of where you've travelled in from, you'll have to take a short monorail from your gate over to the main central hub terminal in the middle of the airport. So shortly we'll be arriving in the main terminal building, which does get a bit confusing because there is baggage claim on both the A side and the B side of the central terminal. So if you flew in to the B terminal, then you need to make sure that you're going to the baggage claim for B, and obviously vice versa for Terminal A. So when you're in the main terminal building, you'll be on level 3, but you need to go down the escalator to level 2 for your baggage claim. Just to make things even more complicated, I should point out that this is on the East Atrium. So if you go past the food court, there's also a west part of the main terminal building which looks very similar to this. So the East Atrium has the Hyatt Regency Hotel based in it. I was hoping to do a longer tour of the airport really, but it's getting pretty late. So as mentioned before, you go down to level 2 for baggage claim, and this is conveniently just outside of this is also the pickup area, so you can get picked up by your Uber or Lyft or taxi in this section. So we're on level 2 now because I've just ordered an Uber, but if you did want to rent a car, then you need to go down another level to level 1, where all the different rental car companies are available on both the A side and the B side. Now a little pro tip here is to go down to the far end, because a lot of these pickup points here will be a lot busier. If you are ordering an Uber or a Lyft, just be careful that you don't order it from level 1, because Uber doesn't know what level you're actually on. You do tend to find that your Uber driver will probably guess that you are on a different level, but yeah, just something to be mindful of. So this is where I'm getting picked up from. So we're now entering the lobby for the Endless Summer Dockside Inn. As you can see, they've got their Christmas decorations up very early. This is the second time I'm having to record this because the camera wasn't turned on. Gonna have to go past these people again. So this is the dining area for the Pier 8 Market quick service restaurant. I'll give you guys a better tour of this tomorrow. So I should mention that the Uber cost me $52.08. And to be honest, I'm quite happy to pay that given how expensive rental cars are at the moment due to the chip shortage, and also parking fees in Orlando are just absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think my days of renting cars are possibly over. So yeah, I do recommend, you do lose some convenience of course, but I do highly recommend for your trips to just use Ubers whenever you need to go on a long trip. So here we are then. Can take this off. Whew. So I'm not going to give you guys a full and proper tour tonight just because the lighting's not great, and to be honest I'm absolutely shattered, so I think I'll wait until the morning before I give you a proper tour of all the different features of the room. But as you can see, not too shabby, is it? Very nice. I'm really happy with the view actually, because I didn't pay extra for the pool view, but I did ask for a room with a good view, and it just goes to show if you don't ask, you don't get. So, excuse me. Here's a better look of the pool at night. And then over in the distance on the left, you can see Icon Park, the attractions there. There's a closer look of the wheel at Icon Park, and then to the right of that you've got the Starflyer. Then on the far right we've got the old Slingshot attraction next to Enclave Hotel and Suites. I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you for making it this far on my first vlog. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future videos, and do go check out my other YouTube channel for more in-depth Orlando guides and reviews.